Libero awaits! The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky first chapter is finally here. The long-awaited, full remake of the game that launched the Trails Kiseki saga. After 21 years, fans old and new can once again walk the roads between Rolent, Bose and Zeiss. But this time with stunning visuals, modern updates and all the heart that made the original a cult classic. Welcome to Scott Loves RPGs. I've been diving deep into this remake, and today I'm going to break down what's changed, what stayed the same, why it works so well, and yes, what still feels dated or could have been better. Let's go. So for those who don't know, The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, or Sky FC, first released in 2004 for Windows PC and 2006 for PSP. It was the start of a trilogy in Libero, a small but vibrant kingdom in the world of Zemuria. Estelle Bright and Joshua Bright are siblings, well, adopted in Joshua's case, aspiring to become bracers. The peacekeepers / odd job doers who help townsfolk, solve mysteries, and eventually get wrapped up in huge political conspiracies. The remake, Trails in the Sky First Chapter, launched on September the 19th, 2025 for PC, PS5, Switch and also Switch 2 via an upgrade. This isn't just a graphical rework. Falcom rebuilt it on their more modern engine, the Trails Through Daybreak engine, added voice acting, updated many systems, quality of life improvements and expanded gameplay content. Let's talk systems. If you played the original Sky FC, you know the gameplay was purely turn-based, menu-driven and very old school. Here, first chapter introduces two combat modes. Command battles, essentially the classic turn-based fights you know. Quick battles, or field encounters, a nod to more modern Trails games letting you engage enemies more fluidly while exploring. Combat is still satisfying, with strategy, positioning, etc. Equipping orbments, balancing spells and using art / bracers is still there, though streamlined in places. The remake also blends in modern quality of life features, faster travel, better menus, more voice acting, more animations and cutscenes. The exploration is more visually immersive thanks to full 3D environments, far more expressive character animations during story beats, and generally more polish in presentation. On the flip side, some elements still feel dated. The pacing can be slow, especially early on. There are sequences with lots of dialogue, world building, fetch or bracer work missions that require patience. The quick battles are fun, but sometimes feel less impactful than pure turn-based ones, especially when the overwhelm of enemies or animations makes them feel a bit busy. One of the biggest strengths of Sky has always been its characters. Estelle is warm, spunky, earnest. Joshua is mysterious, level-headed, but with hidden depths. Their chemistry anchors the story. First chapter leans hard into that. Voice acting adds another layer of emotion. NPCs feel more alive, the towns look better, you notice the small details more than ever. The setting of Libero is rich. A kingdom that's comparatively safe, but scarred by political tensions, especially with neighbouring powers. That tension underlies the bracer work missions, helping common people, dealing with monsters, smuggling, theft, tasks that on their own seem small, but build a tapestry of what Libero is like. The remake doesn't change the major plot beats, but the way it unfolds feels more cinematic. More cutscenes, more voice lines, more environmental storytelling. One place where comparisons come in, fans of the original will notice, if they played Sky FC, some text or scenes are very faithful. Lines preserved, same plot structure, but the improved presentation means emotional beats land stronger. For newcomers, this feels like the perfect entry point. It's easier to stay engaged now. Visually, first chapter is gorgeous. Neon Falcom has taken what was once 2D sprites, 3D backgrounds, pixel art, etc. and rebuilt the game in full 3D with modern lighting, increased detail, expressive character models, and animated cutscenes. It still retains charm. It doesn't try to go hyper realistic, it keeps a bright, anime-inspired aesthetic, which suits the tone. Audio is a big upgrade. Voice acting is much more present, music has been remastered, and players often have the option to use older versions or arranged tracks. The soundtrack has always been a strong part of Trails' identity, and hearing old tunes with refreshed instrumentation or arrangements is a treat. There are also quality of life touches, improved UI, better navigation, better fast travel, clearer quest indicators, and better performance. According to reviews, the PC port is also very solid. So how's the game been received? Incredibly well actually. Reviews have been overwhelmingly positive. On OpenCritic, it's rated mighty with an average score in the low 90s. Some standout reviews such as RPG Site gave it a 10 out of 10, calling it the easiest 10 out of 10 I've ever given. DualShockers awarded around 9.5 out of 10, praising that it not only brings back the heart of the original, but now can stand alongside any modern JRPG. Xbox Era points out gorgeous graphics, music, enjoyable cast, and that it's really a remake that brings a classic into the HD era with some much needed quality of life updates. On the user side, Steam reviews are overwhelmingly positive, with over 90% positive in both global and Asian versions. It's already become Falcom's most successful Steam release in terms of concurrent players. The estimated time to beat Trails in the Sky First Chapter, including side quests and exploring, is about 80 hours, roughly double what the original took many players. Alright, now for my take. What hit for me and what didn't. What I loved. The character writing. Estelle and Joshua both feel alive. Their interactions are warm and funny, their emotional arcs land even stronger with voice acting and new animation. The visual and audio revamp. The remake gives Libero a fresh coat of paint but keeps the soul, those environments, those minor NPCs, the little details, weather, lighting, all add so much. The balance of old vs new, retaining enough of the systems fans expect while streamlining so newcomers aren't lost. The sheer scope. With 80 hours of gameplay, this is no short trip. If you love exploring, side content, even just soaking in scenery and story, there's a lot here. What I wished were better. Early pacing. The first 5 to 10 hours, maybe more for slow story lovers, can feel like a lot of exposition, fetch quests, bracer work that can drag. The quick battle mode can sometimes feel less satisfying, especially when fights are repetitive or when the animations and enemy encounters make them feel a bit samey. For some fans, the changes in presentation, especially voice acting, more cinematic scenes, might feel like they alter the nostalgic feel. If you deeply love the original sprite-based visuals, some of the polish might lose some of that charm. Also, localization, spell, text bugs here and there are noted in reviews, but didn't significantly detract. All in all, Trails in the Sky First Chapter is one of the best remakes of a JRPG classic I've played in recent years. It's respectful to the original, but also bold enough to make changes that enhance the experience. For longtime fans, it's a nostalgic but fresh revisit. For newcomers, it's a gateway into one of the richest JRPG universes out there. If you enjoy deep storytelling, strong characters, beautiful music, strategic combat, and don't mind investing a solid 50 to 80 hours, this is absolutely for you. For me, it hits most of what I care about in an RPG. Heart, polish, and enough freshness to make the journey feel new again. So my verdict, highly recommended. Trails in the Sky First Chapter is not just a remake, it's a rebirth of a classic, done with an extreme amount of care. If you've played the original, tell me, how does this remake compare for you? Did it capture that old magic, or change too much? And if you're thinking of jumping in for the first time, what are you excited to see? If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep JRPG content, and share with someone who might want to start the Trails saga. Thanks for watching Scott Loves RPGs, and I'll see you in the next one.